Hey, this is your girl Tysheen. How you doing? How you feeling? How's my people in Sweden? How's it over there? It's cold? It's warm? Like, what is it? Because it's getting warm over here. Okay, we're in spring now. Spring just started on Sunday, the 21st. Yeah, no, 20th. The 20th. Spring just started over here, so it's a little cold, but getting a little warm there. It's getting there. Okay, you know how I feel about spring. I love spring, love summer. I like falls too, just don't like winter. I'm not a winter person, so yeah, I don't like to be cold all the time. But anyway, we have this video here. It's called what is it like being black in Sweden? So this is something I'm curious about, because as a black woman, you know, going to visit Sweden, I need to know, you know, how is it being black going to Sweden? So yeah, so let's get straight to it.
Yeah, representing Jamaica here.
Jamaica. Okay, yeah, I know my parents are Jamaican.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk a little bit about my experience being black in Sweden. So let's do that. I was in Sweden for 5.5 months, and the last time society checked, or I checked, I'm black. So why not do a video about my experience being a black woman while in Sweden? So first and foremost, I must say that I like Sweden. I like Sweden as a country. There's a lot going for it. Sweden is like a cheesecake that is just baked so good. I would want to go back to Sweden.
What? I heard the way she described that. Okay, Sweden's like a cheesecake, and y'all know I love me some strawberry cheesecake. So y'all sweet like that? Y'all creamy and sweet?
For sure, especially to travel like the mountains there and see more of the nature, as in like hiking and stuff like that. First main thing in Sweden that I had to get used to was people staring at me. I am that type of person, and I know a lot of people are like this. Unless you want attention, unnecessary attention or unwanted attention is just one of the most awkward things. So right off the bat, I realized just walking through the streets in Sweden, going to the supermarket, going to restaurants, people stared at me. And the worst thing about it is that a lot of Swedish people, I don't know how to say it, but it's like you can't really read their face. So it's not like when I went to Italy or Peru and people stared at me, is that you could almost see the emotion in their face. But for Swedish people, what I experienced is that it was just blank. It was, the expression is blank. So imagine having people staring at you unwantedly, plus you can't read why they're staring. For example, a Swedish person while I'm walking down the street would stare at me like this, and then when I catch them staring at me, then they'll look away like this, as if I don't know. But the thing is, someone said to me,
that's the thing too, I don't think they're being rude. I mean, staring, it could be a little rude, because you know the person could feel uncomfortable, but it's okay to look and then do, you know, look, go back, look, you know. But staring at me, like, I don't like that neither. That'll make someone, you know, that'll make anyone feel uncomfortable.
That maybe it was because of my hair, because this was the hairstyle that I had for about 2 months.
It could be that too.
I was in Sweden the first 2 months. But the thing is, I also had this hairstyle as well, because in April I cut my hair, so I no longer wore this hairstyle. I cut my hair, and also I decided to just go full natural with my hair. So I had short hair, and I still got stared at. So the person who said it was the hair, it wasn't the hair. And I think I also have that unique perspective, because I experienced the staring with this hairstyle, with this hair, and also experienced the staring with basically no hair at all. Second thing, and this is a little bit frustrating to me, because I don't live in Sweden. I'm not Swedish, but I can imagine what black Swedish people go through. So when I go into a store, what usually happens to me 95% of the time is that people will just start speaking English.
I'm sorry, I had to turn it
A
up.
lot of people speak English.
Low.
Majority, I think 85% of the population speaks English and speaks English fairly well. So going into a store and someone, like, I'm going up to the counter and they just start speaking English. Hi, how may I help you? Are you paying with card or cash, or is that the only items you want to get? And then I usually ask myself, like, how would you know that I'm not Swedish, you know? And I observe that white people that go in front of me, they approach them first with Swedish instead of English. So I know that it's probably 100% frustrating to Black Swedish born citizens who probably go through that quite often. So, and I think those type of things, it's less overt, but it's a little bit frustrating, because if I was Swedish and I was living in Sweden, wouldn't that be annoying that every time I go to a store, or 95% of the times I go into a store, people are gonna be talking with me in English because they assume that I'm not from there.
Not from there.
I couldn't be from there because I'm Black or because I'm a person of color. One other experience that I had while being Black in Sweden that gave me a little bit of a unique experience to talk about this is that I studied in Sweden for the 5.5 months that I was there. So I also got to experience what it was like studying among Swedish students, being in a classroom among Swedish students, engaging in discussions. And I kind of put myself in the fire because I studied global studies in Sweden, and one of the topics, we had to discuss a lot about stuff, from race to slavery to gender to feminism and stuff like that. And I'm a very strong opinionated person. I like to voice my opinions as well. So when it came to the classes about race, thankfully, I have to say first of all that we had an amazing main lecturer on that topic. She's a lecturer from India, and she laid out to the Swedish students how she has experienced overt and not so overt racism in Sweden. And surprisingly, a lot of the Swedish students were extremely blown away and extremely surprised.
Wow.
And some of them slightly didn't want to really believe what she was saying. And the thing is, when I related my experience while in Sweden, that people stare at me and I do feel different as a Black person, I kind of got a little bit of teeny weeny backfire. When I say I got a teeny weeny bit of backlash, it's because, like, when the Swedish students, like the Swedish classroom that I experienced wasn't or isn't as engaging compared to the Jamaican classroom. In Jamaican classroom, things can get really heated, sis. Like,
I believe you.
Heated.
I believe you.
But Swedish students, they never sort of defend their point to an extent where it's really heated and juicy. So it's like people will disagree with you, but it's never in a, listen, you're totally wrong, you've never experienced that, you this, you that. It's mostly subtle disagreement, but they're trying to express their opinion in a politically correct way. I hope I'm explaining this right, but I did get the backlash, but it wasn't like a Jamaican backlash, but it was a Swedish version of a backlash. And also on that point, it's safe to say that sometimes I realize in Sweden, some people are living in this bubble. There's a huge pride in the country, what it has achieved regarding human rights and stuff like that, but there's definitely work to be done, because it's not all that of a utopia. Nowhere is a utopia. Nowhere will ever be a utopia, and thus no country should ever promote themselves as a utopia, or no citizen should ever accept that false idea that their country is a utopia. There's always things that needs to be improved on. So overall, as I said, I love my experience in Sweden. It was amazing, and these experiences as a Black person didn't come every day. Most days it was fine, it was chill. I got used to it after a certain time. After 2 weeks or so, it's like I got used to the stares. I'm like, yes, are you?
Girl,
Are
Let me tell you something. If everybody want to stare at me, go ahead, stare. Because sometimes you gotta look at it as a positive way. Look, you can stare at me all you want to, okay? You're gonna look at this beautiful face all day, every day. Just stare at me. I won't feel any. I mean, of course I'm gonna feel some type of way, but I won't show the person that I'm upset or anything like that. I'll probably stare back. You know, you stare at me, I'll just stare back. I'll be like. But I can understand where she's coming from, though.
Are you looking at me like?
I know, right?
Are you looking at me? That was like my vibe after the first 2 weeks. But there's some days where you're just like bad hair day, probably menstrual cycle going on day. I don't want to talk to you day. I don't want to exist day. I just want to walk and no one see me, but people are gonna see you. So, but overall, as I said, my experience in Sweden was really good. I really liked it.
Glad to hear that.
Also at the same time, it is a little bit different as a black person, and I found that it is important to highlight that. But overall, the country is a great country. There's a lot going for Sweden, and I must applaud them for a lot that they have done as a country and a lot of value that they put.
That's nice to hear.
On their citizens and stuff like that. A lot of things that they have accomplished, and kudos to you, Sweden. And for all the black people traveling to Sweden or living in Sweden, I would love to know in the comments below, what do you think about the experiences that I've laid out here? Have you experienced anything similar? And if you're a Swedish person or non-Swedish person living in Sweden, I'd like you to tell me, what do you think about my experiences? Do you also think that?
That's why I can't wait when I go to Sweden. I'm definitely going to film it and showing my experience.
Okay, maybe I'm overthinking things a little bit, or do you think, wow, maybe, you know, I didn't know that these things actually happened, or people actually stared or stuff like that? I really want to know in the comment section below. Definitely relate some things to me. I want to know for sure. And thank you for watching this video, guys. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe to my channel.
Subscribe to her channel.
Subscribe button, turn on notifications.
But anyway, this was a great video. I will definitely write more of her video. Sweet girl. You can tell she's a very sweet person. And yeah, go down to her video. I'll leave her link to her video. Subscribe to her video and comment how you feel about this. And comment below too. Let me know how you feel about this. Okay? And if there's any other videos you'd like me to react to, comment below. Let me know. And I'll see y'all later. Take care of yourself. Bye. And